New bike. The first step on a bike build is, of course, strip it down to basically nothing. Right now doing plastic, working on wheels later, but it's a work in progress. Well, the most important part of the bike build is done, the graphics. We all know graphics make you way faster, that's why they did them first. The next step is the second most important part, which is putting parts on the thing. I'll kind of run through a part list for you guys, what we're putting on it. It's gonna be very similar to my last bike, it's just an EX this time. And we're still waiting on a couple parts. I have my graphics and plastic and seat. That's the real reason we did it first. But they do make you go faster. First step, we gotta fix this issue. Don't tap the rear handbrake. Damn it. Grab the right one. Normally you'd be very careful with this not to get air in the system, but we don't care. Always put that in a safe place. Should probably be wearing gloves for this. Before we take this all the way off, we're gonna follow this cable up here. I'm assuming there's our plug right there. That's for your brake lights. That way when you're riding down the trail and doing hard enduro, people can see when you're braking. Set this in the parts washer because it's still got some crap in it. I'll leave the wire out. These bolts are really long and that's all the motion you get, so I'm gonna be here a while. Try a 13. It's kind of an annoying job to do, but you only have to do it once. And if you're saying you wanna ride one of these with a foot brake, you're freaking crazy. All right, that don't make sense. It's because it's a 15. If only I could read, huh? Boom. Don't need that. Useless part, useless. And just like that, you got your rear handbrake mounted, routed, and not bled yet. Just go get yourself a set right now. They're a game changer. Quick tip for you guys, if you guys are sick of the auto release kickstand, you can look at your kickstand, you'll see there's a seam around that metal piece. Essentially the spring just puts pressure against this metal piece. And then as you lift it up, it pushes the spring back up and does that auto up kickstand. Which to me is really annoying because your kickstand goes up without you knowing it, that you can take a grinder to and cut off. And then it just gets rid of that piece. So when you drop your kickstand down, it stays down because this doesn't have that pressure on it. So, little trick if you guys want to get rid of that auto lift kickstand system. One of my favorite parts and go-to parts for the oil cover is this one made by Dirt Tricks. Way stronger. I got a lot of hours on this one. I'm pulling it off my other bike. And it's still going strong, keeping me from putting holes in that oil pan and then having a really bad time trying to fix it on the trail or limp it back when you lose all that gear oil in that little gearbox. So Dirt Tricks, go check them out on their website. It'll be linked down in the description. Great product. And of course their sprockets are going on the bike because their sprockets are unmatched. If you've never seen inside one of these, that's all it is. Gear from the motor, gear here, that goes across to the chain drive, and spins are real. Super simple. Just 2 gears in there.
Did you have enough left?
Yeah. The bike is done. It is built. Man, does it look nice. I'm gonna run you guys through all the parts we put on it. So first off, of course, suspension is redone, revalved, and tuned by Factory Suspension Works, forks, and shock. The bike is lowered 3/4 of an inch. The reason I do that is because it helps the chassis. I have a 32-inch inseam. I'm not really short on legs. I still lower all my bikes. I've been doing it for years, but suspension has been done, is dialed. It doesn't get any better than this for VARG KYB suspension. Up front, we're running the stock handlebars, all internally routed on the EX. Most of you guys know that because you have the EXs. The OD Rogue grips, slightly bigger, feels nicer on my hands, gets rid of arm pump for me. OD bar ends. Of course, we got the ENDURO levers, some nice little caps, front and rear, and their sweet throttle housing cover. These clamps here work great with the stock handguards. They have those plastic inserts in them. These are just my goo holders. I get a lot of questions on this. Pull these up. It's just a bit of old inner tube, some gas hose, and a zip tie. You can pull them up, slip your goos under there, clamp them down. Easy access when racing. Maybe you could get a tool on there as well. Stock handguards. My dad has been running these for 100+ hours, and they have worked great. They're super flexible. Mounting system up here, and we got a bolt right in here to keep them from pivoting on the handlebar. Going up front here, we have the Michelin Enduro Medium 2 front tire. This one was left over on this wheel, so that's why it's not brand new, but these things last a really long time. Of course, Nitro Moose bibs inside. We're running stock skid plate with a slide guard here. This essentially just bolts into the skid plate, keeps the structure here so you don't have any problems with your warranty from Stark, but gives us a nice slide guard for the linkage, just a little added protection. We of course have the Raptor titanium edge foot pegs, no middle bar, and these are 10mm back. I think it makes a huge difference. Absolutely love these foot pegs. Coming to this side, oil cover from Dirt Tricks. This thing's super strong. I got a lot of time on it. Bulletproof designs on our disc guard. Best disc guards on the market. Keep you from bending in those rotors. On the rear tire, a Dunlop EN91, the 140. Go-to tire has always been my go-to tire. It's nice and soft in there. And then, of course, we got the Pro-Lock system in here, allowing us to run extra soft bibs. And as you can see on the other side of that wheel, the Dirt Trick sprockets. My gearing is 1345. I get a lot of questions about gearing. We went to a 1345 for one reason, and we've done a lot of gearing testing. It mellows the bike out just enough so that you can run slightly higher horsepower, maintain that low-end, good, easy, usable traction, but keep that mid-range, high-end snap because you're running more horsepower. These come stock 1248, which is super low. That's gearing I was running on my 300 Husqvarna. What happens with that low gearing is it just gets a little too snappy on the low end, and then you're having to drop horsepower. You're getting into the 30s, maybe even the 20s for usable low end. This 1345 mellows out that low end, but with the 45 horsepower, you're maintaining that snap and giving you the power output. We got the bulletproof adapter. This is a leftover one. They're super strong. They take a lot of abuse, and that allows you to mount the TMD factory chain guide onto the Stark, because the Stark wants you to mount 2 bolts up this way. They made an adapter and mounts just like the new 24 Gen 24 to 26 KTMs. These chain guides just make a world of difference. The stock chain guides are a little flimsy, even on the EX. That's pretty much it. I'm super excited to be riding this bike. Kind of get it broken in. It's brand new, so everything's a little stiff. So probably get used to seeing me on a red bike now. Same idea with the channel, different colors. Like I said, super happy with how this bike turned out. I think it looks great. The red just has such a nice look, red and black. Feels a little extra factory, doesn't it? Do a little shakedown ride on this thing. Get used to it, get it broken in. Should be about the same. The chassis is a little different from my MX, but other than that, stoked to get this thing going and test it out. Okay, first proper ride on this bike. I'll tell you what, it feels a whole lot different than the MX. Like, chassis feels different, fork angle feels different. They are not the same bike, so don't get that confused. I'm not sure with the 1.2. That might be closer to the EX because they've updated it, but my Gen 2 MX feels way different than this. And I'm not saying good or bad, just saying they feel a little different. Don't think I'm complaining, the bike feels great. Suspension's really nice. Everything feels tighter because it's a new bike. When you go from a bike with 300 hours on it. I had to roll my bars back a little bit. You know what, the regen feels different too. I'm used to that 25 regen for the uphills and stuff. It feels like the regen is lighter, which is interesting. It's the same wheel, so it's not wheel bearings in that sense, because I just swapped my wheels because this one's all built up and everything. Guys, this bike is feeling phenomenal. I softened up the shock a little bit, got a little more squat out of it, even with the spacer to lower it. Oh, the last like hour of riding has just clicked with this bike and how the chassis should feel. Rolled my bars back a little bit more, puts you in better position, helps my wrists not hurt so bad. And I can't tell you how good this bike is working. The traction I'm getting, the way it's feeling, it is unreal. I am so stoked with this EX. Man, it doesn't get much better than this. Beautiful day in the mountains. A beautiful bike to ride. That is just perfectly dialed. Whew. Yeah, baby.
Show close. I got off balance. Right there.